Greetings, travelers.
There was this awkward moment on camera for a second where we hadn't decided who was going to say first. So, greetings, travelers.
Yes, I decided you just paused, so I decided to go.
Oh, yeah, that was the plan. I try to let ladies first, but...
Oh, that's super sweet. Mark, what is any news, anything interesting happening we need to talk about?
Well, we just had a few events, and we have a week off this weekend, so we can finish up the book. We know we keep talking about it, but we're finishing it up, and off to the main editor, and then off to the presses. Then after that, we literally have an event every weekend until October, like end of October, like through Halloween. We are booked. Yeah. So find us online, find us wherever. Go to EerieTravels.com and see where we're going to be, because it is all over the place. And sometimes we're in two different places. So you have to kind of watch, because Erica's at one, I'm in another. Sometimes we're both together, sometimes we're not. And the big one, Dragon Con in the middle, you can safely say you're all going to be at that one, and Mothman.
Fun story. I was talking to Dragon Con because we had some autograph issues last time.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm still in negotiations, but we will have some separate author signings that we're going to be at to help with that a little bit. And they offered to put us on the Walk of Fame, but they offered only for Monday. And I was like, that helps us not at all. So I pushed back a little bit. We'll see. But we might be on the Walk of Fame this year. We'll have to see.
Well, that'd be great. But if not, find us at our panels, and we'll try to
come to the panels regardless.
Yeah. We'll try to make sure we have a little bit of signing time. If they kick us out of the room, we'll do something in the hallway. So, as long as we don't shut down fire codes.
Yeah, bring an instant table.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay, we're doing listener tales today, right?
Yeah, because it's been a few weeks since the last one, and as always, you all flood our inboxes with tales and emails and messages, and oh my gosh, so many. And you guys, man, I don't know what it is, but you have all encountered some seriously strange stuff that I wish I had a tenth of what you guys have seen. And I've been to a lot of weird places, see a lot of weird things, but man, you guys knock it out of the park.
They never disappoint. And I realized that I'm now sitting here. Luckily, it's still a little bit light out, though. Realizing that I called out for people to send scary stories. So I'm a little terrified of what that's probably going to equal to. But I'm along for the ride.
We started getting them almost instantaneously after that one aired. So,
I love it.
Let's dive in, because we got a bunch to get through. So you pick or I pick?
I'm going first.
All right.
I don't trust you. I feel like you're tricking me. But anyway, here we go. Okay. Hello. Huge fan of your show, and we've met you a couple times at Scarefest in Lexington, Kentucky. Ooh, we like Scarefest, yeah. Anyway, Erica wanted scary, so here we go. Hashtag regretting this already. There we are. No, just kidding. Here we go. Okay. I'm staying at a friend's house in the basement. Well, first of all, I never stayed in the basement. I was staying at a friend's house in the basement, and we were sort of rebuilding from a financial issue. I had gotten a new job and was there alone as him and his family were on vacation. I got off work around 3 a.m. I got into bed and was watching TV, and I heard very loud footsteps above me. I assumed somebody had stayed back and forgot to tell me. The next day, I saw a picture of all of them together in a picture on Facebook and knew that the footsteps weren't them. 2 nights later, I heard it again and decided to go up to see who it was and grab a beer. I'm down about that. I got to the kitchen. The fridge is wide open. A bluish white mist is in front of it. I froze for a few seconds, just staring, then went back to the basement. As I got there, I heard the fridge door slam loudly and the footsteps run back to a room and things crash. The next night, I heard crashing around. I told the family about it, and they said, yeah, there's a ghost. I'm just I was and am so fascinated by it. It was one of the 3 ghost experiences I had, but the most explosive experience I had. Alexander. Well, Alexander,
Wow.
I do understand financial situations, but I would have burned the whole place down.
Yeah, no, there was definitely you
I
got
would have had a
something going on
bonfire.
there. Now, I've heard where things crash, but then there's nothing like out of place or anything like that. That's a
Yeah.
pretty common phenomena with strange occurrences, preternatural phenomena of some sort.
Yeah.
And then hearing footsteps and not seeing anything. Again, that poltergeist like when nothing's actually done? Is it a stone tape when you're not seeing anything or not experiencing anything? It's just an echo. It could, again, a preternatural thing, could be in the walls, could be in the, something that we just don't understand. So,
except for the fridge was opened.
oh, that's true.
Shut.
That's true.
So I hate to say, squarely.
Did he say it was open? Oh yeah, the fridge was wide open. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So Alexander, thank you for that. I believe you owe me 2 other ghost experiences at this point, so I expect you to send those in.
We'd love to hear the other one.
I am just curious too, as a follow-up, when you send in your other 2, was anything thrown around, or was it just a weird crashing noise and nothing else was there from it?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm just curious. Inquiring minds want to know.
Well, thank you, Alexander, for that.
Yes.
So go ahead and start it off. All right. So the next one is hi, y'all. Hi. So I'm visiting family in India, and I have a story. Don't worry, Erica. It's more funny than scary.
That makes me even more worried, for the record.
Okay. I was sleeping in my cousin's room, and at around 5:40 in the morning, I woke half up and saw a shadow of a person walk across the room. I closed my eyes because I didn't want to deal with a shadow person or let it know that I'm somewhat awake. I did fall back asleep and asked my aunt if she was, or my grandma went in the room in the morning. And it was my aunt who needed to get something from my cousin's closet. Why she needed to do it before the sun rose, I don't know. It's from Halloween Eve, one of our Discord members. So
yes, hello, Halloween Eve. And that is adorable, but I love that you were like, nope. Go back to bed. I'm not dealing with this. I love that so much. Oh, I got a new witchy tattoo. That's news.
Oh, wow. Yeah, look at that.
But this is my practical magic tattoo that my bestie also has. So anyway,
nice. Okay. Nice.
You can only see that on the videos.
Yeah.
So
tune into the YouTube, gang.
Yes, please, please. And I just have to turn my phone off, so I'm sorry for that. Okay.
That's all right. I was hearing some dinging. I was like, oh, do we have a droid somewhere in the background? So
by a droid, we mean my other computer. Yes, that's the droid you are looking for.
All right.
Here we go. Okay. Greetings, Eerie Travels. Well, greetings. Okay. I had a Twilight Zone experience the other day. Already don't like that. Okay. My daughter and I stopped at this little restaurant for something to eat. The sign said open and the door was propped, so we went in and waited to be seated. We must have waited 5 minutes without hearing a single sound except for the overhead fans before we started to look around for someone. We went in the bathrooms, poked my head in the kitchen, and nobody. We even found the door that led out back where they had more seating. There was a fire burning in the fireplace out there, but again, not a single person. We were there for a minimum of 25 minutes just looking around and taking in how surreal it felt. We left without seeing anybody except a cat. We went back the next morning for breakfast, fully staffed, super busy. It was excellent. This is in our hometown just outside of Lexington. Ethan.
I will say the owner is probably the cat, and he was just waiting for you all to leave because you just were in his space. No,
I'm wondering. See, that's a glitch in the Matrix kind of thing. Were there people there? Just how you entered that particular phase?
It's like when you load into a game and the other players are in the lobby, but they can't see you and you can't see them, like in a multiplayer online game or something, just because you misloaded just by a half a second. Or it could just be simple. Everybody stepped out for some reason and forgot to lock the doors. I don't know why the fire would have still been going, but I've had that happen.
If it was that time of day,
Yeah, it's a little, if it's during dinner hours, but I know I worked at a mom and pop bookstore, and at one point they forgot to lock the door one night and left the lights on, and people walked in and out all night. We watched the security camera the next day. We're like, wow, people walk in, look around, realize there's nobody there, and then just finally walk out. Nobody steals anything, which is crazy. That's the good thing. So,
well, that was probably a different time, but
yeah,
I agree. Well, but I doubt that. Yeah. No, that's weird. So
no, this was definitely weird, Ethan. I think like Erica said, I think there was some sort of glitch. You slipped through a crack in the walls there.
Yeah.
So
and it happens, and it's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Ethan, very much.
Ethan, good luck. I still think the cat might be the owner, or the chef at least.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, well, this one's to me. Look at that. So to Mark Muncie. Well, he's here.
I like that they put your full name as if there's several other Marks that could have been confused.
That could have got this email. Travels. Yeah. I am writing to formally report a UFO encounter that I experienced on the night of June 13th last month. Well, that was not very long ago. Yeah. I have waited a few weeks to send this because I wanted to exhaust every logical explanation before bothering anyone. Ooh, I like that. However, after reviewing my notes and checking local drone laws, I am now convinced that what I saw was not of this world, nor was it a man-made technology as we know it. I also checked out SpaceX and NASA. Their launches were on the 14th. Okay. Yeah, I can confirm that. So I was driving home on New York State Route 28 between Phoenicia and the town of Woodstock at around 10:45 p.m. This guy is really specific. I like this. The sky was exceptionally clear. I pulled over at a scenic overlook near the Ashokan Reservoir Ashokan Reservoir. Sorry, I watched too much Star Wars. Close to the town of Olive Bridge to look at the stars. And that's when I saw it. At first, I thought it was a low-flying plane due to its size, but it made absolutely no sound. There was no hum, no engine whine, nothing. It was drifting slowly south-southeast at an altitude I estimate to be about 1,500 to 2,000 feet. I had a clear view of it for roughly 3 minutes before it accelerated and vanished behind the bridge. Here's why I know it wasn't a drone. It was not a quadcopter or a fixed-wing plane. It was a massive and silent black matte boomerang or chevron shape with a distinct central bulge and had no visible wings, propellers, or tail fins. It was too large to be a hobbyist drone. I'd estimate the wingspan was at least 50 feet based on the tree line it passed over. The light pattern was the strangest part. It did not have standard FAA navigation lights with red and green strobes. Instead, it had a row of pulsing orange and amber lights along the trailing edge of the wings. However, they didn't flash simultaneously. It was like they rippled in a wave from the center outward like a spinning effect. In the dead center, there was a single dim white light that seemed to be scanning the ground beneath it in a slow circular motion. I know the drone argument is the go-to explanation these days, but I live near Stewart Air National Guard Base in Newburgh, and I know what military drones and planes look like. This object was executing maneuvers that defied physics. At one point, it banked, but the bank angle was too sharp for its size, and there was no banking of the lights as it tilted. The light pattern remained perfectly horizontal to the ground. I'm an amateur photographer, and I tried to snap pictures, but by the time I fumbled my phone out of the glove box, the light pattern shifted from amber to a deep red, and the entire object shot straight up. Didn't move forward. Then it just blinked out of existence. There was no sonic boom and still no sound at all. I'm not looking for attention. I'm a retired veteran and substitute teacher, and I value facts over fantasy. I cannot shake the feeling that I was looking at something genuinely unknown. I wanted to report this because I checked the local flight logs for that night, and there was nothing scheduled over that area either. Please let me know if you've had any other reports from that area around that time. I am available for an interview if you need to verify my sighting. Sincerely, James.
Oh.
Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot to take in. That is
Agreed.
a lot to take in.
Agreed.
Stewart Air National Guard Base has been known to use experimental craft from now and then. Most National Guard bases do occasionally for testing. And I do think the Delta, the Triangle ship, and all that are us. This does not sound like that. It sounds like something that changes shapes. And that's interesting to me. I've heard some recent stories about that. And some encounter stories. So I'm literally floored by this. I have going to forward this to MUFON so they can add it to the database. I will look, James, to see if there's any other encounters on that day in that location or nearby. I'm also going to look and see if there's anything like that in the database, because that's kind of new on me.
No, but it definitely sounds like a UFO. And what I liked is he did his research before going, I think this might have been a UFO. He also didn't say, I saw a UFO. He says, I think I saw one.
Yeah, this guy's good. This guy knows his stuff, and he's retired veteran, so that means he kind of knows how to do reports. Substitute teacher, he knows not to overindulge on the story. Yeah, this is as good a report as I can get. So, gang, this is the bar. You need to just do them all like this.
You do not have to do them all like that. Oh my goodness, Mark.
No, this guy's great, and I will reach out and try to interview you, James. Maybe we'll get you on the show. So,
very cool. Okay.
All right.
You mentioned you need extraordinary evidence to prove Bigfoot since you posted that video claiming that Bigfoot stories were fake.
Oh.
Ooh, Mark, this is all going to be you.
Yeah.
What would it take for you to believe them? I saw one, and you can't tell me I didn't see it. It is out there. You need to get out in the woods again. I love your show and the stuff you talk about. I'm angry about your last episode. Are you so certain in your beliefs on this, John? I'm going to start talking first before you piss everyone off again, and then I'm going to try to follow it up. So I'm going to Oreo cookie this. Here's the thing, John. I don't think that we do not believe Bigfoot exists. That's not my belief. I don't believe that's Mark's. I'll let him talk. We believe Bigfoot exists. I think the point of that show is that there has been a narrative around this particular creature, what it looks like, starting from something that has now been proven to be inaccurate and not correct and not a Bigfoot. So I know many, many Bigfoot hunters. We know many in this area here who have told us amazing stories. And the truth is, there's absolutely something out there. Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Man of the Woods, all the different tribes have talked about interacting, trading with these creatures. They exist. I think the point was that the narrative that they're only an ape-like creature and, they're descendants from gorillas or whatever the heck that narrative was, we don't believe that is correct. Mark, go ahead.
Well, I think you're talking about the video where we did the episode debunking the classic stories. Mm-hmm. And it's true because I think they're fake. I think they were based on a newspaper contest, which led to a story embellishment, which led to a guy making fake footprints that we know. This is all stuff we know. And then the Patterson-Gimlin film was out trying to document this fake experience. And we now suspect, we still haven't seen that documentary that supposedly definitively shows, but that got pulled and who knows where it's going to be. But I am 90% certain that all that was bogus. Now, as for modern sightings, I think that's why so many people are afraid to come out and talk about modern experiences or recent experiences or even past experiences, because it didn't look like Patty. It didn't look like what they expected it to be. And what some of the other researchers who are 100%, oh, it's this gorilla thing and all that, doesn't fit that. Or they have some weird things happen with it, or something unusual happens with it, and they don't want to talk about it because then they feel like they're even crazier. That's the parts where we go, there is something out there. There's something unusual, something preternatural, something, hopefully we understand it. Hopefully we figure it out. Maybe it is just monkeys in the woods. Maybe it is a new breed of bear. We don't know. That's the whole point of preternatural. We don't know yet. Hopefully someday we do. And that's it, John. I'm not debunking. I am debunking those old ones, but I'm not 100%. Prove me wrong. If somebody's got, oh, this really happened, I'd love to hear it. But until that time, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Exactly. Okay, Mark, this next one's you. I'm going off camera for 2 seconds because my dog is stuck in the door.
Okay.
I'm listening.
Let's just pause. We'll pause and we'll be right back. Okay, this one says, you wanted scary, Erica. Here's my story. Oh, yikes. Man, they're hammering you.
I see that, but I love it.
For you, after I just dealt with that one, this one's for you. Okay, so I was a sophomore at UNG in Delonga, Georgia, North Georgia. The first thing happened about 3 weeks in. It was a sound at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. I was studying for a chem midterm. Out of nowhere, I heard this scream from outside. It sounded exactly like a woman being attacked. Really high pitch. I don't
like that.
Yeah, then it dropped into this horrible raspy sound. Ugh. I ran to the window, looked out, and saw nothing, just dark trees. The next day I asked around, and the RA said it was probably a fox or a bobcat. I tried to believe that. That sounds familiar. Yeah. A few nights later, I couldn't sleep. The air felt weird. It was kind of heavy, if you get my meaning. There were no insects making noise. I got up to close the blinds, and I saw something at the edge of the forest near the dumpster. It was big, on 4 legs, and moving wrong. It was like 2 long, weird joints. And then it looked up at me. It had these glowing yellow eyes, and its face wasn't a normal animal's. It looked almost human, but stretched. I yanked the blinds shut and sat in the dark with a pair of scissors until morning.
Oh my gosh.
By week 3, I was skipping night classes. I just couldn't walk across the campus after dark. My friends thought I was losing it, and maybe I was. Then that last night, I was in bed and I heard scratching on the outside wall. Slow and rhythmic. It moved up. And then I heard tapping right at my window on the 3rd floor. I didn't want to look, but I did. Through the blinds, I could see the shadow of a big paw pressed against the glass. But the shadow had 5 long fingers like a hand with pointed tips. The glass creaked, and then I heard a voice. It was raspy and not quite human. It said my name, my actual name. Oh, just got goosebumps. I didn't scream. I just grabbed my keys, threw a coat on over my pajamas, and ran. I took the stairs, burst outside, sprinted to my car in the gravel lot. As I got in, I heard the thud behind me. I turned and I saw the thing crouched on the dumpster in the lot. In the light, I could see it clearly. It had gray fur and big shoulders like a cougar. I didn't look hard enough, but I think I remember that those front paws looked like hands. It opened its mouth and let out that same scream from before. I locked the doors, started the car, and peeled out. I drove 3 hours straight to my parents' house in Savannah, walked in at 4:30 in the morning and couldn't explain it to them. Just said I was homesick. I only went back during the days to finish up that semester in gratitude and graduate. Sorry, I'm nervous reading this. I did the long commute from my folks every day. It's been a few years now. Where I live is safe in my view. There is noise and no woods. There are times I try to sleep at night, and I swear I can still hear that voice saying my name. You are totally right, Erica. Some places need to be burned to the ground. Mary.
Oh my gosh, Mary. Let me just clarify. Nope. No, nope, 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 nope. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what to think of that is. Because it sounds something like really otherworldly that was looking for her.
I get shades of Wampus cat here, where it's a big cat-like thing that with like maybe human hands or misshapen hands, but the climbing and the mimicking voices, that's unusual. Or saying a name. Hyenas will do that, where they'll hang around villages, because they're really good at mimicking. Hyenas are really good at mimicking. So they will hang around villages and listen to people calling each other by names. And they will try to be in the dark at night and call names out to see if somebody will come looking for them so they can get them outside.
Hyenas don't climb up buildings and chase you down night after night like that.
I'm not saying it was hyena. I'm just saying that there is a animal precedent for that.
There is. I wonder if there's any other stories from that campus like that. Mark, you need to do some research.
It's not far from us, so we can make a trip. And
we're not going there. I'll burn it to the ground. No, you can go there.
Well, important thing, don't burn a college to the ground, but let their security know something weird was going on. Let animal control know something was going on, and I let a paranormal team know something was going on. And you've let the paranormal podcast who knows paranormal teams know something was going on. So we will reach out and dig into that.
Yes, Mary, but I agree with you. Burn it to the ground. Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I think one more before the break. Let's do this. That was a big one, though. Man, thank you, Mary, so much for that. That's awesome.
And Mary, you did hit the terrifying threshold. Now I'm not going to be able to sleep well tonight. I appreciate you. Thank you. You did your job. Right, Tolly? Are you going to protect me? Tolly's like, nope.
Nope.
Tolly would be the first out the door.
Yep.
Oh, I love my puppy. Here we go. Okay.
All right.
I've been fishing in Lake Erie for over 30 years, mostly on the Canadian side near Long Point Provincial Park. I was on the shoreline just east of the Old Cut Channel. It was early morning, clear weather, easy waves, and good visibility. Was checking my gear and I noticed movement about 40 yards down the lakeside trail. A large figure stepped out from the trees. It was upright and dark brown in color. It was much taller than any person I've seen out there. Couldn't make out facial details, but the body shape was not consistent with a bear. Figure stood there for a few seconds, then it turned and moved back into the woods. It covered the distance faster than I could have thought possible. The moment it was visible, the next it was gone. I didn't really hear anything. It was weird. There were no branches breaking. The area was quiet again immediately. I'm sending this in because one of the guys I told it to said to send it to you. I've spent most of my life on that shoreline and I've never seen anything like it. I don't know if it was a Bigfoot, but it wasn't any animal I'm familiar with. Anonymous. Anonymous, thank you for reporting. And who knows? It could have been an old man of the woods. We don't know. They are very quiet. That is one thing, unless they want to make noise, that is universally said. They seem to be able to move through the woods and stuff like that with relative silence. So
yeah. And the like we were saying earlier about the debunking, everybody talks about Sasquatch or Sasquatch. The natives had word for him, or the wise man of the woods. To them, it's the spirit world and the normal world are the same thing, and so when that's why we think some of these Bigfoot might be more preternatural than natural. So they, the natives talked to them, they traded with them, but it didn't say they were a flesh and blood thing. They weren't all 100% there. They were spiritual beings. They were higher beings. So I think maybe that's what we're seeing some of these. That's why they don't make any noise. I don't think they're that silent, and why they don't move branches and stuff like that sometimes. I think there's more to this than we know. And thank you. That's exactly the kind of thing that reinforces my thoughts from earlier. It's, it can't just be all a big ape in the woods.
No, that's true. And we'll get it reported to the right place. But it seems like whatever it was like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, you fishing? Good. Okay, have fun. And Luke back was like, I'm good.
Just like a seagull going, hey, you got anything? Or those pelicans on the piers down in Tampa Bay. They just land and go, hey, what you got? I'll take a look at that. If you're not going to eat that fish, I'll take care of it for you. So, you have to cook it. Just throw it here. All right. Well, gang, with that, I think we should take a quick break and we'll be right back. Sunny and strange. Every year, tens of millions of people flock to Florida for its sunny beaches and world-famous tourist attractions. Most never learn about the strange and unusual locations just off the beaten path. Join author Mark Muncy and illustrator Carrie Schultz as they journey through the terrors of the Green Swamp, the beautiful Florida caverns, and many more spectral locations in Freaky Florida. Available from History Press and at fine bookstores everywhere.
We're back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think we're ready. We got a few long ones ahead, it looks like. So here we go.
Oh, I like that. Okay. Oh, okay. I'll go first.
Oh, you want me to? I'll do it. I don't want to stand.
No, wait. Now I can't tell if you're sitting. I'm going. I don't.
Will you take the cup in front of you or the one in front of me?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. All right. So this is the one that keeps me up at night. Oof. Nope. How did I?
Already. Okay. Want me to take over?
No. Okay. All right. So this is the one that keeps me up at night. I'm a bartender. Me too. I love that. Okay. Well, I was a bartender at this old place in Ybor City. I don't want to say the name because I still know people who work there and I don't need them getting grief. But if you know the historic district, you probably know the building. Big brick place. Used to be a social club back in the day. Now it's a restaurant upstairs, bar downstairs.
I know a couple places that could fit. It's not Cuban Club, but it's close. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I know. I think I know which one, but there's a couple there. There's a couple there that fit that description.
I took the closing shift because I needed the money, and honestly, I didn't believe any of it. The other servers had stories of flickering lights and the sound of somebody walking around when the place was empty. There was even a cold spot near the old bar. I rolled my eyes. Old building, old pipes, old wiring. There's always a rational explanation. Until about 3 months in when I changed my mind. Love that. It was maybe 2 a.m. I'd finished counting the drawer and I was just about to kill the lights and head out. The whole place was dark except for the little lamps behind the bar. Then I saw her. She was standing at the far end of the bar near the entrance to the dining room. A woman in a white dress.
Oh,
lady in white.
Lady in white.
I just got goosebumps. Okay. Not a wedding dress. The kind of old-fashioned gown, like a flowing kind of 1920s. At first, I thought it was one of the hostesses who left her coat or something. And I was about to yell at her for scaring me when I realized I could see the wine bottles on the shelf where I threw her. And she wasn't looking at me. I didn't move. I couldn't. I just stood there with my hand on the light switch watching her. She took a few slow steps, and I swear I could hear the rustle of her dress, even though there was no one in the room. Then she stopped right in front of the old cash register we don't use anymore. It was an antique one. Then she turned, looked straight at me, and walked towards the back hallway that leads to the old offices, and then she faded. I've been in that bar 100 nights. I knew every shadow. This wasn't a shadow. I've asked around since then, quietly. One of the dishwashers, who's an older guy who's been in Ybor his whole life, he said there's a story about a woman who died in the building long ago. He says she was a bride who was murdered on what was supposed to be her wedding night. So here's my question for you all and anyone listening. Who is she? Is she the bride from the Cuban Club? Is she Rosalita, the lady in white who hunts the bar like he says? Or is she someone else entirely? If you've heard of the sightings, please reach out, because I've been back to the bar a few times since then just to see if she'd appear again, and she hasn't. I'd like to know what it is and maybe who she was, Stephen. Okay. Now I need to know which place it is, so when I go to Ybor, I don't go there.
Well, you go to Ybor City, any of the bars and any of the old buildings are going to have a ghost story. That's just
now I'm Googling it. So
yeah, no, I'm getting the feeling. I think I know which place it is, and he doesn't want to say it. I don't want to say it either. There's a couple places. He mentioned the Cuban Club. So yeah, the Cuban Club has a bride ghost that has been seen on the top floor going down to where the theater is, and she apparently fell. We have records of her falling and hurting herself. We don't have records that she died there, but I was filming a TV show there with a local news channel, and we heard her steps just as we were going on camera. It was great. Yeah, the Rosalita story about a lady who dies on her wedding. If I had a dime for every one of those stories, we'd be millionaires, because that's always the ladies in white explanation.
Yeah.
Again, if you send me exactly where it is, we keep it off the record there, Stephen or Stefan. Let me know, and I will research it without letting people know. And if we come up with something great, I can tell you who it was and everything. But you really want to know, I need more info. So you don't have to make it public. I appreciate you just reaching out. So,
no, that's fine. I'm you Googling to see Casa Santino Stefano.
Nah, I don't. Nah, maybe, but maybe why use that name?
No, because the bottom floor is dining. Nope, that's not it.
No, this is. There's a few. Don't go. I know which one.
I want to keep Googling. Let me.
We can do that after. We do that after.
Fine. I just read. It's your turn to read. I can Google.
Okay. He just said special that he didn't want to get them getting grief. All right. So, all right. Next one. Okay. I'm sending this in because I'm not sure what I experienced, and I'd like to know if anyone else has reported something similar to y'all. A few years ago, I was traveling through the mountains for work. It was late and I wasn't in a hurry, so I Googled and called a small hotel called the Ridgeway Inn that wasn't far ahead, so I could get something to eat and sleep. When I arrived, the building looked older than I expected. The sign was wooden, and the front desk clerk was dressed in clothing that looked out of date. The room I was given had no TV, no electric thermostat, and used a metal key instead of a key card. I'd stayed in rustic places before, so this wasn't totally awkward. I was just tired and assumed it was an older hotel that hadn't been updated. I went into town for dinner, and when I got there, the entire town appeared to be from several decades in the past. The storefronts were older, and people were dressed in clothing that didn't match the present day. I went into the diner, and when I tried to pay, the waitress didn't recognize my debit card. She pointed to a tray of metal tokens with a pine tree stamped. She said that they didn't take my foreign money. I told her I didn't have any of those. I had some cash. She took it and looked at me really weird as I left. I left and returned to my hotel, and when I got back, everything was normal. The sign was modern, and my room had a TV and a key card lock, as well as the one my key worked on. All of it looked like a standard hotel. The next morning, I drove back into town. It was completely modern. There were chain restaurants and no sign of the diner I had visited the night before. I don't have an explanation. I don't drink. I wasn't tired enough to hallucinate, and I wasn't taking any medication. I still have one of the metal tokens, even though I don't remember taking it. My boyfriend told me I should never get rid of it. I am writing in since he Googled stories like this and found your show. I wanted to ask if this could have been some kind of time slip, or if there are known cases of towns appearing differently like this. I've never experienced anything like it before, and I don't know if others may have visited that area. Lynn.
Well, wow. Lynn, I want to see a picture of this coin. Can you please send us a picture of this coin?
Oh, yeah, that would be incredible. A pine.
But Lynn, it sounds like you hit a time slip or a dimension slip or a time/dimension slip, because when it comes to tokens like that, I'm not saying that there aren't places that set up currency like that, but it sounds like they were not expecting your paper dollars. So,
yeah, it's I don't know. That's definitely odd duck thing.
yeah.
I also the pine tree reminds me of Gravity Falls, which is a great show because that's their symbol of it's a cartoon show where they basically X-Files stuff. So that a little bit of there in me. Yeah, no, your boyfriend's right. Don't get rid of it. Whatever you do,
Yeah, do not get rid of it.
Do not get rid of that. You got it for some reason. I'd like to know exactly where this was. Again, as always, feel free to email me off the record. I'll try to reply and see if I can get more info.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's super, super duper weird. Super duper
Glitch in the
weird.
Matrix. Nerd glitch in the Matrix. Man, we got a couple of them here. So this is must be because CERN just turned off their collider again. Things are shifting back to normal. So does Dolly have braces? So.
We'd have to go back and look now, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So here we go. Thank you, Lynn. Okay, Erica, I need you to sit down for this. I am sitting down for this. No judgments. Okay. I love this. I need you to pour a glass of wine. I need you to prepare yourself for the single most embarrassing moment of my adult life. And I say that as someone who accidentally said a sex to my entire book club. Oh, I love this. Whoever you are, you're my new spirit animal. Here we go.
Oh,
okay.
Don't tell that.
It literally says so. So I've been listening to your podcast and those other cryptid podcasts, the ones about the Michigan Dogman, the ones that have me sleeping with a baseball bat and a salt lamp, and I'm convinced doubles as a warding device. Well, I went for a twilight run on the nature trail by the old mill. Gorgeous evening, feeling like a woodland fairy. And then I heard it. Thump, thump, thump. Stomps, heavy ones, coming up fast behind me. Then I hear a guttural, huge growl. I turned my head and I saw a massive dark silhouette. Huge, muscular, snorting. It was on 2 legs, Erica. 2 legs! Those are in caps. That's why I yelled. Okay. Yeah. My brain, which was marinating in far too much internet folklore, screamed, "Dog man!" This thing was galloping on 2 legs, its head bobbing. I swear to you, its eyes were glowing. I panicked. I did the only rational 30-something woman thing could do. I screamed, "Not today, Satan!" at the top of my lungs and started sprinting like my life depended on it. I was pumping my arms, was considering if I throw my water bottle as a distraction. The thing was gaining on me. I could hear its breath. Huffing, puffing. I thought, this is it. I'm going to be the cautionary tale on your show. Then I tripped over a root, went down hard, rolled over and prepared to meet my maker. I threw up a pathetic X shape, ready to be devoured. And the creature stopped. It was a horse, a big chestnut-colored horse. It was on its hind legs because it was startled by me screaming. It was snorting because it was out of breath from running. It had not been chasing me. It had been running away from something. And that something, Erica, the howling came from, that something came waddling out of the bushes a moment later. It was a Jack Russell Terrier. A tiny little yappy nugget of a dog, maybe 12 pounds soaking wet. It was barking its head off and nipping at the horse's heels. The terrifying bipedal dogman cryptid that was about to eat my soul was a 1,200-pound prey animal that had been herded by the dust mop with the Napoleon complex. The horse looked at me. I looked at the horse. The little dog yapped. The horse, with what I can only describe as a look of profound embarrassment, dropped back down to all fours, flicked its tail, and trotted off into the sunset like a majestic idiot. If the little dog had then peed on my shoe and waddled away, I would not have been surprised. I just lay there in the dirt for the solid 3 minutes. I'm lying there, I'm lying here on my deck now, actually. I'm staring at the stars, contemplating my life choices, and trying to figure out how to delete those 10 minutes from reality. So, yes, I wasn't attacked by a cryptid. I was nearly scared to death by a horse with anxiety and a terrier with a death wish. I'm going to burn my podcast app and rethink everything in my life. Please tell me you have wine when you are drinking and reading this. Send me some, Beth. P.S. If you see a horse on a walk tomorrow, just know that he knows what he did, and that little dog is a menace to society. Oh my God, Beth, you just made my day. You just made my week. That was amazing. I'm not gonna. So here is one thing about doing what we do and being a part of the environment we are. We are also prone to idiocy.
Yeah.
Meaning sometimes, like especially me, I'll take me, I'll own it. I can get myself so worked up that any part of my logical brain is shut off. And I, Beth, will not tell you, the other day, my house is very safe. There's a couple little visitors that pass by, but they're here. There's a little fairy that likes to turn on the mirror downstairs. Totally fine. It's all good. But the other day, I was walking up my very safe driveway, and I heard a noise. I thought it was maybe a bear. There are bears here, so I guess I should not say very safe, right? But I heard a noise. Now, I've gotten pretty good at going, little creatures make big noises here in the wilderness. Like a raccoon can sound like a bear when it's tromping through things if it wants to. But I was sitting there, minding my own business. By minding my own business, I mean absolutely not minding my own business. But I was walking up the driveway and I started to go, wait a minute. What if that's not a raccoon? What if that is a bear? Then there was a noise that it made. By the way, I'm not going to discuss what creature actually made that noise, but it's very tiny and furry and not cryptid-like at all. And made the noise. And then I heard the noise. And then I started assuming what that noise was. And then I totally freaked out, took off running. I'm panting. I run in the house. My husband, sanest person in the world, I'm telling you, well, he married me, so mostly sane, goes, are you okay? Was there a bear? No. There was not a bear at all. There wasn't even a raccoon. It was smaller than that. I don't want to discuss it. I was dripping sweat and had to take my second shower of the day because I was disgusting.
Yeah.
That was just in the last few days. So,
and that squirrel knows what it did. So,
yeah. Smaller than that.
Oh, wow. Really? Oh, man. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. No, I was chased through the forest by my own butt with a flashlight. So, that's, we've told that story enough. One of my favorite stories. These things happen. Thank you so much for Beth. That was awesome. So we will look out for that horse. But that's exactly shows you. Oh, we thought it was a bear. Or, we thought it was Bigfoot. We thought it was that, and it was a bear. And it was this. It was that. Yes, 90% of your sightings are going to be something like this, and it will be explained at some point. But it's that other 10% that is where you
end up being a cautionary tale for your travels.
Yeah. All right, back on track. Let's get. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
I loved your Civil War episode. Well, good. I worked on that. I wanted to give you my tale. Ooh. My wife, Ellen, and I were walking near the peach orchard at Gettysburg. We chose a quiet spot near 3 cannons. There were no reenactors around. While Ellen read the sign, I was looking over one of the cannons. And then the sound in the area changed. The cicadas stopped all at once. About 50 yards away, a horse and rider came into view. At first, I assumed it was a reenactor. I look back now and I remember things that I didn't notice at the time. The horse was gray and moved without making any sound. The grass didn't react to its steps. The rider looked older, wearing a faded Confederate uniform. His left sleeve was pinned up. He didn't move the way reenactors do. He just kind of sat completely still. The horse approached the line of cannons. The rider looked directly at me. Ellen grabbed my arm, so I knew she saw him too. He reached down and touched the cannon and then rode on. The horse turned towards the fence by the road. They didn't stop, but the horse and rider went through the fence and disappeared. A moment later, the cicadas started again and everything felt normal. Ellen and I left the area immediately. The other visitors nearby didn't seem to notice anything at all. We still don't have an explanation for what we saw. Ian.
Well,
Wow,
Ian, I would like to introduce you to what is called a stone tape. That is what I'm going to guess that was.
Yeah, it seems like a repeater. It didn't seem to notice or anything. You probably just were in its eye line. Again, we don't know what records these things. We don't know why some people can see them, why some people don't.
But the cicadas stopping is a very good indication, because bugs, creatures, like, I have to say, I've learned, especially now living in North Carolina for the number of years, what scares me is when it goes dead quiet. Because when it goes dead quiet, that means there's a predator or something weird out there, because the bugs stop reacting. All of the quote unquote prey creatures stop responding. That's because they're like, if I'm quiet and don't move, whatever this is won't see me.
Yep.
So always a good indicator, but
always go on alert then, because if nothing else, it could be a bear. It could be something else dangerous, a cougar or a Wampus cat. It could be a Wampus cat.
Exactly.
Right.
Very cool, Ian. That's cool, but there is also a reason I don't go to the battleground.
Gettysburg is beautiful, and the peach orchard
loves them.
Yeah, the peach orchard at Gettysburg is one of my favorite spots. I think I know exactly where you're talking about with those three cannons. So
okay, now Mark's gonna go there to see if he can watch a Civil War soldier walk past. It's like, anyway, okay. Subject: sighting on I-90 near Penfield. Where is that? I-80 near Penfield.
Not sure. I'll have to look that up. I'll Google what you read.
I'm going to read. Hi, Harry Travels. Well, hello.
Hi.
I'm a long-haul truck driver with over 2.5 million safe miles. I don't drink or use any substances, and I've never had issues with fatigue or hallucinations. I'm sending this because of something I saw early Tuesday morning that I cannot explain.
Okay, this is Pennsylvania. I just Googled it. Pennsylvania.
Okay. Yeah. Was it a Confederate rider on a horse? No, just kidding. Okay. It was at 3:17 a.m. I was westbound on I-80, just past just past the Penfield exit. Conditions were clear, full moon, no traffic. I was the only vehicle on the stretch. A figure was standing in my lane at the start of a curve. I braked hard and was able to stop about 40 feet from it. The headlights gave me a clear view. The figure was around 8.5, 9 feet tall. It was covered with dark and thick fur. The shoulders were broad. The arms hung well below the waist. The hands were large with long fingers, and the face had a pronounced brow ridge, wide nose, and forward jutting jaw. It looked directly at me and tilted its head. Nope. Hit the gas. Just kidding. He didn't say that. That's what I would have done. Anyway, it stepped towards my truck. I felt the impact of its movement through the steering wheel. Wow. It approached the front of my rig and looked down at a deer carcass in the road that I hadn't noticed. It made a low chuffing sound, then walked around the truck, picked up the deer with one hand, and carried it towards the median. It stepped through the guardrail, bending the metal, and entered the tree line. The trees moved heavily when it passed. After it was gone, I drove forward. The guardrail was bent, and there was a piece of coarse black hair caught in the metal. I didn't stop to collect it. Okay, that was very, very smart. I continued to the next rest stop and stayed there until daylight. I didn't know if I should call the police or maybe coast to coast. I've driven that road for years, and I've never seen anything like this. I'm supposed to run that same route again next month, but I'm considering canceling the contract. I checked the dash cam footage and it didn't show anything. It only showed the start of my ride and the end. It's supposed to record everything. The chief says it looks like the memory card is broken. If you have any similar reports from the area of I-80, I'd appreciate hearing about them. I'd love to learn. I wasn't imagining it. Thanks, Mike Rigrat from Pittsburgh, PA.
Okay.
Well, Pittsburgh, PA.
Rigrat. I like that.
I love that. That sounds like a dog man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say. Sounds like a dog man.
It's definitely somewhere between Dogman and Bigfoot. Somewhere it sounded very Bigfoot with the wide nose and the brow ridge, but the forward jutting jaw, depending on how far forward it was.
And it's nighttime, so I'm assuming that there's a degree, but the dark hair at night like that, and then two, the thing about the deer, because we know that they tend to run deer into the road to get other cars and stuff to knock them down. Less chasing they have to do. So
yeah, and we had the and again, this could be a Bigfoot. It could be. I'm not saying they're not physical in some ways. I do think they have been known to eat, and they do eat deer. So from what we've heard, they eat game. Yeah. But and then it bending the guardrail is interesting to me because a lot of reports we get from police, highway patrol, park rangers is that, it looked like a deer or some big animal plowed through the guardrail and left a little bit of fur, and they just assume it. They don't test it. They don't collect it. It's some animal did it. And it's like, well, maybe that's where we should be looking for Bigfoot fur and stuff like that. So
no, I agree, but I will say that first of all, we can look up, we will report it to the various agencies and see if there's any other things there. But you saw what you saw, and there is something weird that does happen around electronics and other things with these creatures. I don't know what it is or why it is, but something does happen. And that's part of the reason I think it's harder to catch them on quote unquote tape, right?
Yeah.
They do something.
That's something happened with your memory card. It could have just been a glitch, but I think, something radio waves or some, tampers with it. We hearing about infrasound that they emit that can cause all kinds of electronics issues. So,
yeah.
But I'm glad you stopped the rig, and I'm glad you're rested, and I'm glad you're okay. That's the important thing.
And I don't think you should not do the route. Just be ready. That's it.
Yeah. Know that area. Be ready. And we'll reach out. Hey, anybody in the I-80 just past Penfield exit of near Pennsylvania, let us know.
Yeah. No, I agree.
All right. We've only got a few left, so let's do this.
Yep.
All right. My turn? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Greetings, travelers. Greetings. I'm wondering if you think X is a troll from another podcast. I heard another show say they were getting strange emails and it was from one of the guy's girlfriends. Could it be an inside job? Have you compiled all the emails into a file to see if they are consistent? Do you have a wiki with all the emails? I'd love to help figure out the puzzle of who he is, Sonia.
Oh, Sonia, you have now opened the door. No, we don't think it's an inside job, mainly because a lot of the instances of what they have said to us are when it's literally me and Mark, or me, Mark, and Carrie would never do that to us in a bazillion years. Yeah, that's not her sense of humor anyway, so she wouldn't. But what's weird is they bring up things, and sometimes it's stuff like we're sitting in each other's houses, nothing on a phone, nothing like that, having conversations out on a deck with all of that. And they bring up stuff that it is impossible for them to know unless whoever this is putting a lot of effort into spying on us, which, I mean, if you were going to put that much effort, let's keep the mystery alive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Sonia, we'd love for you. If you want to see them, we can definitely work on that. It's just, I do think that it is something.
It's something. It's somebody who has access. It could be somehow they've got a listening device on us. Somehow they're scanning us from space. I don't know. It could just be our NSA agents that track me because I Google weird things. They could just be.
No, it's true. But also, Sonia, one of the things that's interesting is it's happened 2 or 3 times, but at least twice, somebody has come up to one of Mark's ex-girlfriends, and it's not like he publicizes a list and starts talking to them about stuff that only Mark knew, and that person was not a part of their life. They don't recognize them at all, but originate a conversation as if they know them. And one of those turned a little bit weirdly dangerous with an Uber driver.
Like a car chase almost. Yeah, that was. Yeah, there's some weird, and it's definitely something we watch for, something we listen to. I don't know what else to tell you. It's I don't think it's a troll. That's all I can say.
I don't think it's a troll. Yeah. We don't know what it is, or okay. Also, they have directly answered questions that we did not ask on the show.
Or in like a general thing. Yeah. Just kind of something we asked. All right. The big one, Erica. I think this one is super long, and then we got one short one. So
okay, here we go. Erie Travels.
Hey, okay. What's up?
I had to use AI to help with the English. It is not my native tongue, and I don't get to use it much. My name is Eric. I was the night shift safety officer, which meant I spent most of my time walking the catwalks, checking pressure gauges, and things like that. That night, a monster storm was hammering us from the northwest. The wind screamed at 70 knots, and the platform tilted 5 degrees with every swell. I'm assuming this is like an offshore drilling.
I'm thinking this is a rig. Yeah, it sounds like.
Yeah, okay. Had to think about that for a moment. Good. I was on B deck near the drilling derrick. What is a drilling derrick?
That's a rig. That's where the drill is going in.
Okay. So. Doing a cold check on the fire suppression system. The wind was loud. It felt like a physical presence. That's when I saw him, standing at the edge of the helideck facing the storm. He wasn't wearing a survival suit or the standard Red Company overalls. He wore faded ankle-length Ajir.
Ojulire or Julier.
Okay,
I know that word. Crap. It's like a raincoat type thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like an old fisherman's coat. I'm almost positive. I've read that before. Where have I read that?
It is a rain slick. It's a yellow rain slick.
Cool. All right. Hey, thanks.
Yeah, Google. There you go. Okay.
My brain was almost there.
Yeah, sorry. When I encounter words, travelers, that I don't know, it trips me up. So here we go. Yeah. He wasn't wearing a survival suit or standard Red Company overalls. He wore faded ankle-length or jerk rain slick, the kind my grandfather used to wear. No hard hat, just soaked brim cap pulled low. He stood perfectly still, one hand resting on the railing. I radioed the control room. Control, this is Nielsen on B deck. Who's the civilian on the helideck? Get them inside now. Negative, Nielsen. Helideck is locked down due to wind shear. No one's there. Radar shows 0. The man was still there. He slowly raised his free arm and pointed straight down into the water beneath the rig's legs. That's when he turned his head. My blood crystallized. I worked offshore for 12 years. I've seen men fall, seen equipment fail, seen the sea swallow a supply ship whole. I've never been afraid. But that face was the fear my Viking ancestors knew when they set sail into the fog. It was a drogar, not a ghost, a drogar. What is that?
It's like a drowned spirit, I believe. It's like, if I'm right, kind of like a fae.
A drogar is from Norse mythology, and it's the reanimated corporeal undead warrior.
Okay.
Rejected from Valhalla due to a corrupted life and inglorious in death.
Wow.
No, I don't like any of that. Okay.
Yeah.
I stumbled backwards. When I looked up, the helideck was empty. I should have reported it. I didn't. Who would believe me? I spent the rest of my shift in the control room drinking bitter coffee. 3 hours later, the night maintenance crew came to me, their faces ashen. They've gone down to the subsea wellhead manifold on the lower level just above the splash zone to check a minor pressure anomaly. There, bolted to the outer support pillar, was a clave. It was the kind fishermen used to nail their boats for protection. It was encrusted with barnacles and black with age. No one on this rig has ever seen it. It couldn't have gotten there without a diver. But this wasn't the worst part. Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
You're in the middle of the ocean and you can't like burn it down and leave. Oh my goodness. Okay. The worst part was the weld on the main riser pipe, just 2 meters from that cross, was cracked, a hairline fracture. It would have been invisible to the eye, but the glowing like a neon sign under the ultrasonic testing equipment. If we hadn't caught it, the storm pressure would have burst it within an hour. That night, I lit a candle in the mess hall. It was a small electric one because open flames are forbidden. And I whispered a thank you. That is my ghost story. Ah, goosebumps. We still love your show here on the rig. Keep up the good work. I hope it reads as well as I tell it to the crew here. They all said it scares them, but makes them happy, just like you two on the show, Eric. Oh my gosh, Eric. My heart is warm, but I can't get rid of the goosebumps. That sounds terrifying. So it was trying to warn you guys. I love that.
No.
Sometimes.
And I've got to refresh my Norwegian. I didn't know about the Dragar. Oh man, that's
wow.
Yeah.
Still goosebumps. Eric, thank you for that. Goosebumps. I asked for scary. You just scared the crap out of me. I'm never going to an oil rig. Go team. Yay.
Yeah. And that AI did you fine on that? It translated well.
Yes.
I didn't see too many bad things. So, hey, that's fantastic. A good use for AI there. Eric, thank you so much. And wow.
And sending many, many loves to all of our travelers out on the rig that are listening to us.
Yeah, really tell them we said hi and thank you. I hope you're getting some, get a good drink from them as a toast for getting on the show. So, man. All right.
And not bitter coffee.
Not bitter coffee. Get some good stuff, man. We'll send you some vanilla lattes. That's probably all you need. So
do not promise that, Mark. You're never going to send vanilla lattes out to a big rig.
Out to a rig? I don't know. The supply boats apparently get sunk sometime. So, all right. Oh my gosh. All right. Last one. Here we go. About a year ago, I was standing near Lake Seneca watching the water on a very pretty night when a bright object moved in from the west. At first, it looked like a simple light, but the shape changed as it got closer. It was like flying origami, but metallic. It folded in on itself like a piece of paper being pressed flat and then expanded again without making any sound. It passed over the lake at about 100 feet above the surface, and a narrow white beam shone straight down. The beam lit up a round spot on the water for a few seconds and then shut off. Right after that, the craft compressed again and shot upward at an angle faster than anything I've ever seen. It disappeared in seconds. The lake went quiet again and nothing else happened. I still do not know what it was. Gene. Wow.
Well, Gene, thank you. That is called UAP.
Yep. That is it.
UFO. Yes.
We talked about all the way back to that 1950s flap we did a few episodes on. Remember they kept flying over lakes and rivers and like a weird light, and sometimes fish would get caught up. Sometimes it's like they were tractor beaming up, food or supplies or something. Maybe they needed to cool their engines. I don't know.
Maybe they were looking at plankton, the start of our life on the planet.
Yeah.
Yes. No, these are amazing. You guys did not disappoint. Thank you. Beth, I'm still laughing on the inside. I'm going to go get a glass of wine now and drink to your ridiculousness. But I will say I would like to have the courage of that terrier.
Chasing a big old horse. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Well, thank you all again. You've made our day. These are incredible. I know we've missed a couple episodes and we're probably going to miss a couple more. We're finishing the book. My health is still a little shaky and we've got a bunch of events coming up, but we will try to get back on track 100%. We've done 260 episodes and only missed 2. So, I think you guys can deal if we miss a couple more. So,
and we're running some oldies but goodies. Some people have not heard some of these classic episodes. So
and some people don't dig
fun.
Back into the archives. So it's kind of nice to bring them some fresh, but it's airing them out, hanging them out to dry, putting some Febreze on it. It's all good. But thank you, Patreon people, for keeping us going. Oh my gosh, we love you all. Again, go to the Patreon on our page. The link's in the notes here. Throw us $1. It makes all the difference. So we appreciate it. And you get on our Discord where a couple of our people came from tonight. And then always EerieTravels.com if you want to send us messages or Mark at Erie Travels or info at Erie Travels. Shoot, even Erica at Info Travels. We're all good. So we all love your stories. We love anything you got. And man, and look at this. This was amazing. So
it was.
Erica, any last words?
No, I'm gonna stick with I'm gonna get a glass of wine for Beth and hope tomorrow morning I wake up with the confidence of that terrier and never going on to an oil rig, please and thank you.
Yeah. So when you're out there, gang, and you're sleeping in your basement or your aunt's basement and you see that dark shape, or if you're out in the road and you see something big crossing the road in front of you, just be careful when you pull up to that diner that looks a little old and funky. And you go in and you order things and they want you to pay with a pine coin, then take the check, agree to wash some dishes, head outside, and beware of the Wampus cat. And we'll see you on the other side.